Welcome to the Next Level Mamas podcast. I'm here to help encourage and empower you to create a life you love as you head toward your own next level. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Next Level Mamas podcast. This is episode 21. And if you've been following along this month for spring cleaning, then congratulations. You've done a lot of hard work. And honestly, it is scary at times. There are things in your brain that you would rather not dig out. It's a little like the skeleton in the closet, like they say. You just shove another one in and you close the door. Eventually, though, you have to hold against the door to keep it closed because it won't latch anymore. How long can you use all your strength to press against it? We can actually do it for years, usually, but when our strength gives out, this is when we see the door bust open and stuff flies out at us, slaps us in the face, knocks us over. This could look like, for some people, it can look like chronic health conditions that just come out of nowhere. Or maybe we've all heard of mass shootings that no one seems to see. Like, where did that come from? It's suppressed emotions, and we're not created to hold everything in and to not deal with our emotions. That's the reason we are doing this work. It's very important. We've talked about the analogy of closing out windows on your browser. Remember, I had 24 windows open on my iPhone when I looked. It starts to make your program, your system, slow down when you have so many browser windows open. We use that analogy in all the things that are going on inside of our brain, getting them out, taking them out, analyzing, getting some closure, checking the little X and exiting out of that window. Maybe you closed out some windows of self-doubt in maybe some decisions that you were having to make. Maybe for you, it was a confrontation at work that you hadn't dealt with, or a much needed conversation with a friend. You've done a lot of work. You now have a little bit of space to breathe. After you breathe deeply, take another peek inside that brain. What is something that you've been bothered by that you now need to deal with? You really have more mental capacity, and you've learned some skills along the way to actually face the fear that you have or that dilemma that maybe you have. You may have some beliefs that you come across which came from childhood or a previous relationship in which you would like to maybe challenge it a little bit. Maybe you don't want to believe it anymore. Remember, if there's anything in there about you not being enough or having enough, just decide the opposite. Believe you are enough. Believe that you have enough. Nobody can stop you from believing whatever you want to believe. Now, I was talking with my son recently about my running on the treadmill. I've challenged myself for 2023 to run a mile every day of the year. And on Fridays, I've been trying to beat my fastest mile. The other days, I'll run a little slower, do some interval training to get myself to be able to run a little faster for a little longer. If you're keeping up, I actually shaved off a mere 2 seconds off of my time last Friday. It's definitely getting harder to go faster. And I was talking about how I am dying. I'm gasping for breath. I'm probably so obnoxiously loud during the process, but I really don't care. I have my headphones in, my music's blaring, and I'm just going for my goal. I'm only competing with myself. Then that brought up a topic. He mentioned that I should do some research on sprint mechanics and that sort of thing. I could work on my form and my speed. He shared with me about a time when he was 17 and he was running on the treadmill at the gym. Now, he was young, he was 17, and he's not like done a lot of treadmill running at all in the past, but someone came up to him and told him that he was too loud and that he should run softer. He was really new at running. Like I said, and he was trying to get in shape, and it really affected him. He said he never really ran at the gym on the treadmill again. That's been 6 years. If that's not trauma, I don't know what is. Now, this was said to him by someone who doesn't even really run on the treadmill, but it seems to have shaped part of his identity. He is not a treadmill runner. Could he be? Absolutely. Will he be? Only if he decides to be. Now, I honestly don't care what anyone says about my treadmill because I honestly don't see anyone else around me trying to break their personal record. So there's that. Will I do some research and try to improve? For sure. I want to be able to get my speed faster and to run with better form and maybe be not so obnoxiously loud. Maybe that will happen. Will it just get easier with repetition? I'm really hoping so. It is so far, but what am I capable of? I don't even know, but I'm going to find out. Could I get below that 8-minute mile? Could I get a 7-minute mile? I don't know, but I'm just going to find out. I've got nothing to lose. I've got another 9 months out of the year, right? Short story long, this got me thinking about traumatic things that happen to us mentally when we are trying to do something that is outside of our comfort zone. And this leads us to believing things about ourselves and our abilities, which are completely optional. We can decide to believe one thing, or we can decide to believe the opposite. It's all optional. When I was thinking about it, this came up. One of the topics I think tends to stay beneath the surface comes up a lot when I am working with people trying to lose weight. Now, have you ever thought about what it does to you to diet over a lifetime, trying every new process or pill or supplement, never to solve the problem? I call it diet trauma, and people tend to suppress it. They actually begin believing that something is wrong with them. They bring this into their current identity. Then they just define themselves as a person who has failed at many attempts to lose weight. They most often decide that they are broken, that they're not normal, or they think it's so normal that it's okay to believe that they can never do it, or that they could never become the type of person that they would like to become. They decide that they will just live the rest of their life like this. So they may as well eat whatever they want to, whenever they want to. They accept it like it's a life sentence. They bury it so deeply under all of their other regrets and their struggles that it tends to affect many other areas of life. Maybe it's time to begin to look at it. Just take a peek. Spend a short amount of time journaling exactly what you believe about yourself and what you believe about your abilities. I know for me, I believe that no matter what I did, I would always be overweight. Like I had already tried all the things. I believed that a fit, sculpted body was for other people. I had tried and I never could change mine. So there must be something wrong with me. The list of things that didn't work for me was quite extensive. Cutting calories, eating less, running more, fasting once a week, using fat burners, all kinds of different pills with promises. I was definitely broken because none of it worked. Maybe after you've done some writing, maybe you wrote out some similar things in your list of your beliefs about yourself and your ability to lose weight. What now? This is where the magic can really happen. Remember, as long as I narrow my focus in on what doesn't work for me, my brain looks for evidence of all the things that I've tried and failed at and all the ways in which I never do it. And this perpetuates my beliefs and my current condition. Now, we are going to need to start asking some better questions. Something like, what if it is possible for me? What if I could become stronger? I can slowly open up my brain to curiosity. What if it is possible to lose some body fat and sculpt my body however I desire? I begin by acknowledging that there are other people who have figured it out. Why not me? What if I just haven't figured it out yet? I wonder how a person goes about doing that. What if I just haven't found the one thing that I needed and it's just right around the corner? I'm really glad that famous inventors didn't give up when they had failed attempts. I feel like it was hundreds, thousands of times that they failed, but they figured out what went wrong and they tweaked it and they got it all the way till they created the thing. If it weren't for these people pushing past their self-doubt and their failed attempts, then we would be walking everywhere. We wouldn't even have cars. We definitely wouldn't have a cell phone. We would be living in the dark and maybe even, I don't know, in a grass hut or a cave. Now, if I knew if that I would win $1 million if I could just unlock this, would I be able to find someone who could show me how to do it and actually follow through? For $1 million, I bet I could do almost anything. Now, I bet you could too, probably for $1 million. What if you just haven't asked the right person? What if you were almost about to break through when you stopped? If you knew that your solution was right around the corner, would you keep going? Most of us would say yes. If I knew it was just the next thing, then I would do the next thing. Now, this reminded me of a sermon that I heard, I don't know how many years ago. It's been quite a bit. It was Pastor Stephen Furtick years ago. And the title of the sermon was Don't Stop on 6. And it was such a catchy title that it stuck with me all these years. I always tell myself, don't stop on 6. And just the story and the principle is so simple. It's the story of the Battle of Jericho from the Bible. If you've ever heard this story in Sunday school, the Israelites were told by God to march around the city of Jericho for 6 days in a row, march around once each day for 6 days in a row. The priests are going to blow their trumpets. Everyone else is silent. And then on the seventh day, you're going to march around 7 times. And on that 7th time, they're going to blow the ram's horn and everyone's going to shout, and the walls of Jericho will come down and they will take over the city. I just imagine these men walking around in silence like, oh, I bet this is going to work, just with all the doubts in the world, walking around in the heat, probably grumbling. Then I picture how much we do that when things aren't happening fast enough for us. Would we stop at laps 5, 6, and maybe the first lap on that 7th day? If we stop before that 7th lap on the 7th day, then we completely miss the miracle. I feel like we do this with weight loss all the time. At first, you do something new and your body's like, what's going on? And it just drops weight really quick at first. And then it comes to a screeching halt. And then we just think, oh, we're failing again. Then we see some other diet hack on Pinterest or YouTube, and something new and shiny that is sure going to be the next quick fix. And we change gears and we try something new. But if we just stay the course, we're probably almost always on the verge of a breakthrough. This is where a coach comes into play. A coach who has been there and is like, oh, I remember. It seems like you're not moving the scale, but things are going on in your body on a cellular level that you just can't see. You're just about to lose some more weight. If you just stay the course, your body will catch up. Weight loss is way more than calories in, calories out. It is a mindset thing more than anything. It's definitely a sheer determination to figure things out once and for all, but mostly a process of developing a love for yourself along the way that makes all the difference. If you don't learn to love yourself all the way to your goal, you will not be happy at the destination either. The confetti will drop. You will have a celebration, but then what? Your life is still there. Your marriage is still there. Your boss is still there. Your friends and issues are all still there. If you haven't changed your overall identity to becoming a new type of person with that self-love, then you will just revert back to your old ways and gain your weight back. That's what happens. Now, that being said, there are so many great coaches out there ready to help people lose weight and create the lives that they want. It's only a matter of finding one that fits with you. You have to work with someone you believe can help you. You have to work with someone who has had a similar path that you're walking. You have to be able to relate. They have to know where you are and exactly how that felt at the time. I'm not saying that I'm the coach for everyone at all. I would never claim to be the end all be all, but I have done it. I've unlocked that mystery within myself and my brain, and I can teach others to do the same. That's my message to you, because I'm always telling you that you are capable of anything, and I'm really not kidding. Even the things that you believe are impossible for you. If it's not weight loss for you, it may be learning to love your job again, or learning to love your spouse again. It may be not screaming at your kids so much. It may be getting things done which you think that maybe you don't have the ability to do. Something like you are stuck and you can't get past it. It may be a whole list of goals that you would like to accomplish. It's all the same in the end. It's learning to use your brain to unlock your own secret weapons. Thanks for listening, guys. And for the free PDF download that goes with this episode, go to my website, nextlevelmamas.com/podcast, and you can download. It's short. It is highlights of the podcast plus some extra questions and journal prompts for you to think about. I also have an email you can sign up for on the email sign up tab. You get an email every Friday when the podcast comes out. It all kind of coincides together. You can also reach out to me on social media if you want personal help with your weight loss, with your goals. Reach out to me on social media or through my website. I can help you with your struggles. Now, I will see you all next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Next Level Mamas, where we are out to win the level we are in and move into our own next level. For more information on coaching with me, please visit nextlevelmamas.com/create your life. See you next week.